At the beginning of the movie, Eric and his wife Amy move into a new home with their three kids, Kendra, Griffin, and little Madison. It looks like the perfect fresh start, but something feels wrong the moment they arrive. A massive, twisted old tree stands right next to the house, and Griffin can't shake the feeling that both the tree and the house are hiding something dark. Madison starts experiencing strange things too, but because she's so young, she thinks it's all part of a fun game. On their very first day, someone starts talking to Madison from inside her bedroom closet. Later that night, while she's playing near it, she touches the closet handle, and instantly her hair stands straight up as if she's been hit by static electricity. Madison excitedly asks Griffin to try it too. He grabs the handle, and the exact same thing happens. The kids laugh it off, thinking it's just another weird game. But that night, Griffin can't sleep. The creepy tree outside his window feels like it's watching him. Then he hears a strange noise coming from the basement. Curious, he heads downstairs and discovers a box filled with terrifying clown dolls. The sight alone is enough to scare him out of his room. Around midnight, every light and electronic device in the house suddenly begins flickering. Griffin wakes up after hearing Madison's voice downstairs and quietly follows the sound. He secretly watches Madison standing in front of the television, talking to someone no one else can see. She places her hand on the TV screen and calmly says, "They want to come inside." Confused, Griffin asks, "Who wants to come inside?" Suddenly, dozens of ghostly hands begin pushing through the TV screen. Griffin rushes toward the television to turn it off, but an unseen force violently throws him backward. The loud crash brings Eric, Amy, and Kendra running downstairs. Madison slowly turns toward them and quietly says, "They're here." The next morning, Amy asks Madison about what happened the night before. "You said people were here. Who were they?" Madison innocently replies, "They're my friends. They're not imaginary. They're the lost people." Later that day, Griffin discovers part of a human skeleton buried in the backyard. As he's staring at it, a ball suddenly rolls toward him on its own, then changes direction and slowly rolls toward Madison's closet. Terrified, Griffin tries to run, but a huge stack of books mysteriously blocks his path. Just as suddenly, the books move aside, clearing the way. He desperately tries to tell Eric and Amy what happened, but they don't take him seriously. They're too distracted by the gifts Eric has brought home. That evening, Eric and Amy leave for dinner with some friends, leaving Kendra, Griffin, and Madison home alone. During the dinner, they make a horrifying discovery. Their new house was built on top of an old cemetery. Back at the house, the nightmare truly begins. Kendra's phone starts making strange noises as the signal glitches. Then she comes face to face with a terrifying ghost. She tries to run, but a pale hand suddenly bursts through the floor and grabs her ankle. She screams for help, but the door slams shut on its own. At the same time, the creepy clown dolls in Griffin's room come to life, and the most horrifying one launches an attack. Just then, Eric and Amy return home. Outside, they find Griffin trapped in the tree's massive branches. As they rush toward him, the tree suddenly releases him as if nothing had happened. Moments later, Kendra runs out of the house in a panic, screaming that Madison has vanished. Amy and Eric search every corner of the house, but Madison is nowhere to be found. Then out of nowhere, the TV turns on by itself. Madison's voice starts coming from the screen. Amy slowly reaches out and places her hand against the TV, and suddenly Madison's hand presses back from the other side. The terrifying moment leaves everyone frozen in shock. Desperate for answers, Amy visits paranormal investigator Dr. Brooke tells her everything that's happened. Dr. Brooke arrives at the house with her team, Wade and Sufi, and they immediately begin investigating. As they're setting up their equipment, a chair suddenly slides away on its own, just as Wade is about to sit down. Dr. Brooke explains that this isn't an ordinary ghost haunting the house. They're dealing with a poltergeist, one of the most violent and dangerous supernatural entities. Unlike normal spirits, poltergeists can throw heavy objects, create complete chaos, and appear or disappear in an instant. Even worse, there isn't just one, there are many of them. The team places tracking devices all around the house and tries to communicate with Madison. But when Wade starts drilling into the closet wall, something from inside violently yanks the drill away. As he reaches in to grab it, an unseen force suddenly grabs his hand. Moments later, the drill starts spinning from inside the wall, charging straight toward Wade's face. At the very last second, the force lets go, saving him. A ghostly handprint appears on his arm, then mysteriously fades away. Even the hole he drilled into the wall disappears as if it never existed. With all the equipment finally in place, they try contacting Madison again. Amy calls out to her through the television, refusing to give up. This time, Madison answers. She tells Amy that she can't come back. Hearing the fear in her voice, Amy realizes Madison isn't alone. Suddenly, every light in the house goes out. The TV crashes to the floor as terrifying noises echo through the rooms. A dark shadow appears, crying with Madison's voice, before sprinting toward her bedroom. Eric chases it inside, where it hides in the closet. But as he gets closer, he realizes the horrifying truth. It isn't Madison at all. It's a ghost pretending to be her. The creature lunges at Eric, forcing him to fight back. In desperation, he slams a heavy table into the closet wall. The wall explodes open, revealing a glowing supernatural portal. Eric throws the table inside. Seconds later, another portal suddenly opens in the living room ceiling, and the very same table comes crashing back down. Dr. Brooke immediately realizes they've discovered an entrance and an exit between two worlds. Knowing the situation is far beyond her abilities, she calls her ex-husband, Kerrigan, a famous TV host and renowned occult expert. After examining the house, Kerrigan uncovers the horrifying truth. The house was built on top of an old graveyard, disturbing countless restless spirits. Over time, those spirits transformed into violent poltergeists. Madison possesses a rare gift that allows her to communicate with the dead, and that's exactly why the poltergeist dragged her into their world. To test his theory, Wade throws a rope through the glowing portal inside the closet. Just like the table, the other end of the rope suddenly drops out of the opening in the living room ceiling. Kerrigan's plan has worked. The rope now creates a direct path between both portals. Wade hands everyone a tracking device, and Kerrigan sends Griffin's camera-equipped drone into the portal, hoping to finally discover what lies on the other side. Through the camera feed, the team sees something terrifying, countless ghosts filling every corner of the house. The drone carefully flies past the spirits until it finally finds Madison. They speak to her through the drone and guide her toward the exit, but just as she's about to make it out, three ghosts suddenly grab her and drag her even deeper into the darkness. The drone crashes, leaving them with no way to help her from the outside. Kerrigan immediately decides to go in himself, using the safety rope, but Amy insists she should be the one to do it. As they argue, Sufi notices Griffin has disappeared. Moments later, they find him inside Madison's room. Overcome with guilt, Griffin blames himself, saying that if he hadn't left Madison alone, none of this would have happened. Without thinking twice, he jumps straight into the portal. The others quickly secure the rope to keep him anchored. Griffin pushes his way through the sea of ghosts until he spots the crashed drone. A few steps later, he finally finds Madison. He reaches out and tells her to come with him, but through tears she says she can't. The ghosts surround her from every direction, trapping her with no escape. The spirits suddenly grab the rescue rope and start pulling with incredible force. The pressure becomes so intense that the anchor clasp snaps. Eric and Kerrigan desperately hold onto the rope, but the ghosts are far too strong. Their grip slips, and Griffin realizes the loose rope is now their only chance to escape. He grabs Madison's hand, catches the rope just as it's being pulled back toward the exit, and the two race through the air while the ghosts try to stop them. Seconds later, Griffin and Madison burst out through the ceiling opening and collapse onto the floor unconscious. Eric and Amy rush over, desperately trying to wake them up. After a tense few moments, both kids finally open their eyes. Everyone breathes a huge sigh of relief, praising Griffin for his incredible bravery. They waste no time packing up and preparing to leave the haunted house for good. But just as they're about to escape, Madison suddenly whispers, "The ghosts are still here." They jump into the car and try to drive away, but an unseen force drags the vehicle backward. The car crashes straight through the wall of the house. The ghosts reach for Madison again, trying to pull her back into the portal. The entire family fights with everything they have to keep hold of her. Kerrigan realizes the horrifying truth. The spirits will never let them leave unless someone stays behind. Knowing what has to be done, he tells the family to run and rushes back into the house. As the ghosts drag Madison toward the portal, Kerrigan steps inside it himself, sacrificing his own life to save everyone else. Eric and his family barely escape as corpses and skeletons suddenly burst out of the ground all around the house. They make it to Sufi's car and speed away. Behind them, the haunted house erupts into a massive beam of light that shoots into the sky. Kerrigan's sacrifice has finally destroyed the poltergeist, and for the first time, the family is truly safe. Sometime later, Dr. Brooks searches for Kerrigan using his GPS tracker. They can't find him anywhere, but one thing is impossible to ignore. The tracker still shows that he's alive. In the final scene, Eric and his family visit another house they're thinking about buying. Everything seems perfect, until they notice a huge tree standing next to it. Without saying another word, they immediately reject the house. Then comes one last surprise. The movie cuts to Kerrigan and Dr. Brooke filming another episode of their paranormal show. Somehow, Kerrigan has returned safely, and the entire team is reunited once again, bringing the movie to a satisfying end. So what do you think about the movie? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Also, subscribe to this channel for more stories like this.